Alright, what is up guys, Nspire here, and welcome back to another video. In this video, I will be going over the best settings you can use in Apex, not only to give you the highest FPS that you can get, but also some settings that will actually help you in-game. So let's get started. First off, you're going to want to come to your settings tab and go over to video. Now these first few settings are totally up to you, but personally I play on sprint view shake minimal because I don't like my screen shaking a lot when I'm running around. Now personally I play on 104 FOV because I feel like it's better for me. I feel like playing on 110 just makes my eyes wander and there's just too much to look at. Plus with 104 there's less on your screen, so it'll make you have a little bit more FPS. Now for the advanced video settings, you're basically going to want to have every single thing on low or disabled. Now if you've updated your Nvidia drivers and you have this option, I recommend enabling it. You can also try enable plus boost, but I feel like this gives me a little bit of input lag, so I personally just stay on enabled. Now with texture streaming budget, the only reason I have this on 2 is because I like the way it looks compared to 0. This is what it looks like when you have texture streaming budget on none. As you can see on the hands, everything just looks blotchy and pixelated. And this is what it looks like on very low. Now as you can see, there's a very big difference, and I just feel like it makes the player experience better. All right, for this next step, you're going to want to make sure your game is closed completely and your game is not running at all. And what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go down to local disk, users, your name, saved games, respawn, Apex, local, and you're gonna have these 3 files. Now what you're gonna want to do is you want to click on video config and open it. Now once you're in here, you're gonna want to go to cl_ragdoll self collision, and you're gonna want to change that to 0. It'll be 1 by default. This will just disable ragdolls and help with FPS. Then you're gonna want to scroll down to setting RLOD switch scale. Now this is usually 1 for high and 0.6 for low, and you can change this to 0.35. This will keep the game looking decent but also giving an FPS boost. And then you're gonna want to scroll down even more and go down to CSM enabled. Now what this is, it's going to be your shadows in game, and turning off your shadows will increase your FPS by a lot. Now if you're one of those people who like to play with shadows on, just keep this on 1. Now what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to save exit out of that, and then right click on video config, go to properties, and click read only, apply, and okay. Now if you don't do this, all of the settings that you just changed will be overwritten the next time you open Apex and change any of your settings. Now for the next step, I'm going to show you guys how to make an Autoexec. Now I currently don't have the game installed on Origin, so I'm going to have to show you guys how to do it through Steam. For Steam, you're going to want to right click on your Apex Legends, go to properties, local files, and go to browse. And for Origin, you're going to want to go to wherever you have your game saved to, and it should look somewhat like this with a config folder. Now you're going to want to open your config folder. Now I already have an Autoexec made, but I'll show you guys how to make one. Now you guys are going to want to find this folder right here named config default PC. Now what you're going to want to do is you're going to right click, copy, paste, rename it to autoexec.cfg. You're gonna do is you're just going to Control A, delete everything, and you're gonna put in these commands. Now really the only command I use is fps_max, because Respawn got rid of a lot of things you can put in your Autoexec. Now what you should do if you have a decent computer is you should cap this at 180. For some reason when you go over 180, Apex starts to bug out. I don't know if it's the engine the game runs on, but personally I play on 144 because that's what my monitor's hertz is. And also when I play, I also stream and record at the same exact time, so I don't want my PC running harder than it needs to be. Now what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go back to Steam or Origin. You're going to right click on the game, go to properties, and then right here is where you put your launch options. Now I will have mine down in the description where you can just copy and paste. Now this next step will only work for Nvidia users. If you have an AMD card, I'm sorry, you can kind of skip this. What you're gonna wanna right click on your desktop, go to Nvidia control panel. Now once you're in here, you're gonna wanna go to adjust image settings with preview. Make sure use the advanced 3D image settings is ticked. Now you're gonna click the blue take me there. Now to make sure this doesn't mess with anything besides only your Apex Legends, you're gonna wanna click program settings. You wanna click the drop down menu and find your Apex Legends. We're gonna copy these settings. First off, we're gonna do image sharpening. We're gonna have that on sharpening off. Anisotropic filtering, we're gonna have that on off. Anti-aliasing FXAA off. Anti-aliasing gamma correction off. Anti-aliasing mode application controlled. Anti-aliasing transparency off. Background application max frame rate off. CUDA GPUs, you're going to want to be using all of your GPU. Low latency mode off, max frame rate off, multi-frame sampled AA off. OpenGL rendering GPU, you're going to want to choose whatever your graphics card is. Power management mode, max performance. Preferred refresh rate, highest available. Shader cache on, use global settings. Now the next 4, which are all texture filtering, you're going to want to have it on, allow, high performance, and on. Threaded optimization you want to have on, triple buffering off, vertical sync off, and virtual reality pre-rendered frame is 1. Alright, so load up your Apex Legends and go back to the gameplay tab in settings. Now we're going to go over some settings. These are the settings that I currently use and think are the best. Some of you might have different opinions, but I currently play on interact prompt style default, button hits off. Now this is a big one, crosshair damage feedback. I play with this off because I feel like having a big X and the armor breaking on my screen distracts me, and I also have noticed that when I have this off, my aim is a lot better with tracking. Now this is what it looks like when it is on. As you can see, it's just a big X, and when you're shooting at something farther away, I just feel like it gets in the way of you actually seeing your target, and it just makes it harder to track. Now this is with it off. This just makes everything just looks so much better. It's so much cleaner, and you can actually see your enemy when you're shooting. Now the next one is damage numbers. I have this one on stacking because it's easier to see how much damage you've done to somebody without doing a bunch of math in your head. And you can also relay that info to your teammates a lot faster. Now a lot of these don't really matter too much, but this one, taking damage closes deathbox or crafting menu, you're going to want to have this one on off. Now what this does is if you're going to get that armor swap out of a death box and you get shot while you're in that death box, it won't take you out of it, so you can actually get the armor. Now if you have this on, it'll automatically take you out of the death box while you're trying to get that armor, and you probably won't end up getting it. Now the rest of these I just have disabled. If you want to show what your FPS is at the top of your screen, make sure you have this one on. I personally don't use any colorblind mode, but I have heard that Tritanopia is also very good with making things pop more and making different color armors and hop-ups easier to see. Now moving on to mouse sensitivity, I currently play on 1.4 with 800 DPI, and I play with custom ADS controls on. Now this is my current setup with this, and what ADS sensitivity is, it's when you aim down your sight. The sensitivity is going to be different than your normal sensitivity just looking around. And you can also customize your sensitivity with each optic that's in the game. Now if you're somebody that likes to play with a super low sensitivity, but you want your ADS sensitivity to be higher, this is a good option for you. And also if you're someone that likes to play with a super high sensitivity, but you want your ADS sensitivity lower, this is also a good thing. And keybinds is really up to you. There is no right or wrong at this. It's really just whatever's comfortable to you. And with audio, there's really nothing special. I just leave everything the way it is. Now, if this video helped you in any sort of way, please let me know down in the comments, and make sure you guys leave a like on the video. Subscribe if you are new, and also check out any of the other guides or tip videos I have. And thank you for watching.